I guess I'm getting old, LeVar, because I watch the news, man. I seen some civilians filling potholes themselves because the city they live in will not fill them. They fill in the potholes themselves. So
which is crazy because they paying taxes.
Exactly.
I mean, I think, and I don't know that everybody does.
Use their own time, money, and effort to fill potholes that the elected officials
aren't
should have
filled.
Come on, man.
That's kind of wild.
Come on.
That is kind of interesting, and that is kind of wild. Shots out to you filling your own potholes. It seems as though the Giants and the Steelers might be trying to fill their pothole at the quarterback's position, TJ. I'm curious. Russell Wilson has visited or has visits with the Giants and the Steelers. I've had a lot of conversations about Russ, and there have been a lot of speculation about Russ. We'll talk about Kirk Cousins after this break, but I can't help but to seem or feel as though there could be a possibility that teams are out here and they're playing coy or they're poker handing it by letting it be made as though what happens with Kirk Cousins ultimately determines what happens with the rest of this free agent or trade situations that exist in the league. I'm not necessarily sure that that's the all the way truth here. What's your take on Russ visiting the Giants and the Steelers?
I mean, a couple weeks ago, we spoke about, I felt like the Pittsburgh Steelers are a perfect fit for Russell Wilson because of how he came up in Seattle. His start and the way he ascended as a player and a premier player in the National Football League was because the situation in Seattle, great defense, great run game, let's take shots. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great defense, run game, and we going to take shots. And they had the receivers on the outside and George Pickens and Deontay Johnson to do that. And so for me, the Pittsburgh Steelers would be the perfect fit. Now, it's really crazy that the Giants have buyer's remorse after one season, as if they knew they were going to have buyer's remorse before they did the contract with Daniel Jones. That part, it baffles me. You're the New York Giants, and here you are. You have a top 10 pick, so you can, one, draft you a franchise quarterback if you identify the right one. But two, you just signed Daniel Jones to a multi-year extension last season, and you're like, nah, this isn't going to work. Let's try to go get Russell Wilson. But I think the world of Brian Daboll as a head coach. I think he's one of the best head coaches in the National Football League. If you give him a quarterback, he's going to do major work with him. But for me, Russell Wilson fits with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell Wilson goes to the Steelers, that division would be crazy. Now for Russ, can he regain that swagger, that confidence, that aura about himself that I can go get this done like I did in Seattle? Because I don't care who you are. When you have as much adversity as he's had the last 2 years, you have coaches that don't believe in you. Your self-confidence starts to waver. So he's going to have to make sure that he believes in himself wholeheartedly. But the Steelers, for me, is the perfect match.
How does that talk to me a little bit about that? As an offense player, somebody who has been around some pretty damn good quarterbacks and has had the type of career you've had, and then post-career you working with receivers, working with quarterbacks and different players. How does one lose that confidence as an offense player, as a quarterback? And as you mentioned, how is it possible to get it back, TJ? How does that work?
So we all have lost confidence. I don't care who you are, the best players in the world, the worst players in the world, and everybody in between. We all have lost confidence. If you aren't playing up to your expectations, you may start to have a little doubt creep in. And when doubt creeps in, that's a lack of confidence. And then it's sustained doubt. Oh, my God, my coach don't believe in me. I can tell you don't believe in me. We're not doing this. So now when somebody else doesn't believe in you, once again, doubt creeps in because you start to doubt yourself because all the people that used to believe in you, you're starting to realize, I don't think they believe in me anymore. Is there something wrong with me? So then, again, there's more doubt creeping in. And the only way to regain that confidence is to go out and do it. So you feel really good in your training and your preparation, get in the game, and it doesn't go the way you expect it to. Here we go all over again. And so that's not going to be an easy task for him because he's had nothing but success. You come into the league, the Seahawks signed Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson, the third-round pick. Oh, my God, he's starting now. After the Seahawks, confidence was sky high. But Pete Carroll put a system around him that enabled that confidence to grow. And Russell Wilson always says the right things. He always will say the right thing. But do you really believe that deep in your core that you can go get it done? Do you really believe that deep in your core you're one of the best quarterbacks? Because when you've played, you haven't shown it. And the people that should believe in you do not. So you start to doubt yourself. That's just human nature. So he's going to have some success. And it can't just be in workouts. It's going to have to be in the game because when I train my guys, we work on the mind so much because, the game is always 90% mental and 10% physical. But everything we do is always physical. We never train the mental. So if it's always, it's 90% mental. Then why don't we spend 90% of the time training my mental? Why is it completely reversed? And so I try to spend a lot of time with my guys on the mental aspect of it because, as you know, LeVar, that mental is very important.
Yeah, super important. And I dig what you're saying. You know, as I look at the Russell Wilson story unfolding, I really do hope that it works out for him. I hope that he does find that that resurgence or that whatever it is that he needs, maybe getting released. You know, sometimes I hate to say humble. I don't know him, so I don't want to say he had a humbling experience. But whether I know him or not, you and I both know if you get released from a team when you were considered to be the franchise player of the team, that's got to be a humbling moment for you and a moment of reflection as to how do I avoid having this happen to me again. You know, nobody wants to repeat failure. You know what I mean? And so to me, I really feel as though looking at his scenario, it's definitely going to take a coach that believes in him, but to help restore that belief and that confidence. But then my question leads me to this, TJ, and I'll pose this to you. Is there the chance that Russell Wilson is the type of personality where it almost seemed like to me Sean Payton got turned off by him? And I don't, because I've met Sean Payton, and Sean Payton seems to be the type of guy. He did not come in there with the idea of I'm going to sabotage Russ so I could get a quarterback and do something different. He was coming in there to win with Russell Wilson. But it seemed as though he turned him off. And there was a turn-off period, and, you know, I don't even want to deal with you. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm going to put you on the sideline. You're not playing. Like, we're going to bench you. We're taking your office away, and we're going to release you. Eventually it comes to we're going to release you. Is there the possibility that the person that Russell Wilson has become could almost be detrimental to him having the opportunity to be successful again in the league?
Man, Sean Payton – When he took that job with the Denver Broncos, I believe he wholeheartedly felt Russell Wilson could possibly be the guy that can get it done for him. Sean Payton was working at Fox, and he spoke highly of Russell Wilson. He basically put all the blame on the head coach, which was the OC.
He took a lot of heat for it, too.
It was Hackett. And so when you do that, you're showing me that you believe in what Russell Wilson can do. And then he got in the same building with him, meetings with him, games with him, and day by day, he realized he was wrong. He realized Russell wasn't what he thought he would be and what he was. And so he cut.
But is that personality-wise or is that skill-wise? Because skill-wise, he's shown his skill. It's got to be personality if I'm betting on it.
LeVar, you and I both know. If the skill is there, and these coaches will put up with any personality.
Anything, right.
Any personality. If you're producing the way they want you to, they'll put up with anything. I mean, anything, because we've seen it.
That's right.
And so the production and the skill wasn't there. Let's not say it wasn't there. It wasn't what Sean Payton wanted. It wasn't what he expected. And so since that was the case, we are paying you like this. We expect it to be like this.